Hi there, it's Ed again. So, remember when I said I had taken a little bit of a break, but I was going to attempt to do more videos? Yeah, that was 5 months ago. Anyway, I am back, and I'm doing this video because I just returned from Gen Con 2022. It was Gen Con 55. Had a great time. That is our father-son trip for me and my son. We're not into sports, we don't camp, we don't fish, but that's our father-son bonding time. Had a great time there. And we played lots of great events. We met some great folks. We got to see some old friends we haven't seen in several years. And like you always do when you go to Gen Con, you go to the exhibitors hall, and I bought stuff. And actually, this year I bought a little bit more than I have in the past. So I was going to share with you my Gen Con loot. So here we go. Let me put the glasses on. All right, so let me see. This is in no particular order. I'm grabbing this up. Kids on Brooms. This is a game I've been interested in for a while. As you have probably heard me say, I do teach kids Dungeons & Dragons online, and I've had several ask about a Harry Potter role-playing game. I have found someone has taken Dungeons & Dragons 5e and sort of put it into the Harry Potter world, but this also would take care of that, and I kind of want to expand the kids' experience in role-playing games. So this is something I'm planning on doing online for some of the kids that I teach. So we'll see how that works out. Microscope. This is a game where you create basically the timeline of a world. I think it could be fantasy, science fiction. I don't think it's really genre specific. I've heard about this for a while. I was very interested. I think it's a great way to gamify creating a history for your game world. I could be totally wrong about that, but that's what it seems like. So found this at the Indie Press Revolution book booth, and it was relatively inexpensive, so I picked that one up. Monster of the Week. This is a game also that I've heard about for a while. This is another book that I got to run online for some of the D&D kids. Again, a different system than D&D, but I do want to introduce them to other systems. There was another teacher on the same educational platform where I teach D&D saying that some of her students were interested in Monster of the Week. So I may try this and see if some folks want to try this out. Again, another game that I've been interested in for a while, but I got it primarily to try to create classes with it. Blades in the Dark, another game that I've heard about for a while. Really great things, and I wanted to try this out. Now, here's a story. Last year at Gen Con, I went by the Indie Press Revolution booth and picked this book up about 4 times, thinking about buying it, and I didn't. And finally on Sunday, I decided, okay, I'll get it. And they were sold out. Of course. So this year when I went by, I found it, and I said, okay, I'm not going to let that happen again. So I went ahead and bought it. I also feel like this would be great to recreate the old Thief video game. I played that years ago, and I loved it. Loved the setting, and this sounds very similar to that. Yes. Index Card RPG. I actually have a friend who's a big fan of this, and we're playing a game using Index Card RPG. So I wanted to grab this. Found it at the Modifius booth and grabbed that. I actually have used some of the things from the old 2nd edition Index Card RPG in my Dungeons & Dragons, like Death and Dying and things like that. I kind of want to go to the near, far, close, the range increments that they use here instead of actual feet, making it a little more abstract. So I'm interested in diving into this. And like I say, I'm actually playing in an Index Card RPG game right now, so handy to have the rules. All right, so when you go to Gen Con, you get a coupon book. Coupons! Only 2 people will get that joke. This year, Goodman Games had a coupon where you could get the Dungeon Crawl Classic soft-bound rules for $10. So I did. This is a book, again, I've played this a few times with some friends. I have the PDF, but I was interested in getting the physical book. I'm getting to where I like physical books rather than PDFs. But yeah, so this was a great steal, a great bargain, so I went ahead and got that. And they had a deal where you could get some of their modules for $1 each. So I got Sailors on the Starless Sea, and I also got Frozen in Time because it has robots on the cover. Basically the selling point of this module for me. Yes, I also got the new starter set for Dungeons & Dragons that has the new Dragons of Stormwreck Isle adventure in it. I'm interested in checking this out. I will probably do an opening and a flip through of some of the books in here, so stay tuned for that. I'm interested to see what they're doing, if they changed anything for the starter. I don't think so, but I'm also interested in maybe using the Dragons of Stormwreck Isle as another class offering for my D&D classes. And I should say I got a really cool DCC RPG bag when I got my Dungeon Crawl Classics $10 rulebook. So that was cool. A lot of the companies are handing out and giving out really nice bags to carry your stuff around, so I appreciated that. One of the non-collectible card games that my son and I have enjoyed playing is Chrononauts, where you travel through time trying to manipulate the timeline, and we found early American Chrononauts, which goes back to, I think, 1776, maybe even earlier. So looking forward to playing that. Also got Lost Identities. One of the things in Chrononauts is you're trying to change the timeline to make sure your reality is the one that's the real reality. Like if Hitler was assassinated, or if the Hindenburg did not blow up, or if Abraham Lincoln was not assassinated, people like that. So it's a group of identities who have different timeline requirements, so you get to add that to the game. Yeah, Avalon Hill was selling their new version of HeroQuest board game, and they were giving away the Adventure Design pack, I guess. So this is all the symbols, some information, and a layout, so you can create your own adventures for HeroQuest. Pretty cool, and yes, this was free, they gave that away. And even though I taught my son that you only need one set of dice to play D&D, and it's true, but who has one set of dice? Not me. So I did pick up some different dice. Q Workshop had a sale on their dice, so I got a set of those. And I also realized that I didn't have many 4-sided nor 8-sided dice, so I bought some more of those while I was there. And Q Workshop had these really cool cube-shaped 4-sided dice. So I got 3 of those. I'm interested to see how those work. Let's see, you see my pile growing over here. I also got from Chessex a set of tiny, tiny little dice. Sometimes those are handy to have, so tiny little dice in sort of an ice blue color. I did get a Hit Location D12 from Chessex. So it has a little spot on there. You can roll it and find out where somebody got attacked. And a lot of times I'll add that to the classes when I'm gaming with the kids. But, you know, after a while I'm like, it's the arm again, it's the leg again. So that'll hopefully keep me a little, make it a little more random. I did get a Mdg Dice. They have a special where they would pass out dice for free. And I did get the Gen Con 2022 dice from Crystal Cast. Turn that around so you can see that. Can you see that? I think so. So we got that one as well. My son is also a big fan of Warhammer 40K. And he got several blind pull packs of metal pins they had. He got a couple of duplicates. So he did give me one. I think this is Dark Angels. You can tell I'm not familiar with Warhammer 40K, but I believe that one's the Dark Angels. Right there. Did that focus? There we go. There we go. Better look at it. As I said, I did get some more D8s and D4s. For Gen Con merchandise, they always have quite a few things, and the thing I liked was the old school retro Gen Con logo pin. So I got that. Let me shake that around. You can see that the flail there is a D20 on the end. Maybe you can see that. Running out of room to put my stuff. And also in the Dungeon Crawl Classics bag that I showed you, they had a lot of stuff, a lot of extra stuff. So I did get, let me find it, have a bumper sticker. So had that. Also received a couple of bookmarks. CG Joe for Goodman Games. Or GG Joe. Of course, Goodman Games GG. Wow. Alright, there we go. I got that one, and I got this one, Zine Quest 2023. Sky of the Crimson Flame. A little QR code there for that. Of course, got a lot of information about other places. A card for those guys. These guys have a Kickstarter coming up, so they gave me one of their cards. It also works as a promo card if you get the game. Here's HeroQuest bonus cards I got with the Adventure Design pack. Here is the flyer for the Gen Con store. All those things. And also in Goodman Games, we had a special Gen Con release for returning to Indianapolis and some of the things that were coming out there at Gen Con. Oh, that's not all, though. When I went to pick up my coupon book, they were giving out these bags. Very handy. So one side has a war hippopotamus, I guess. And the other side has Vampire the Masquerade. I am starting to use miniatures and tiles more for some of my month-long classes I hold online. And I found out that I need a few more miniatures, especially goblins and cultists and monsters, things like that you might need several of. So I did find a place called Next Level Miniatures. They had just had a Kickstarter, but they had several very cheap miniatures there. They had some cultists and some goblins and some dwarves, so I got some of those. So grabbed a guy like that, if you can see that. The Osmo Pocket is having a hard time trying. There we go. Focusing on this little guy. Thought the dwarves were pretty cool. I believe these are 3D printed. And they did have a Kickstarter that was successful. And you can get quite a few different basic monsters like kobolds and goblins and hobgoblins, bugbears, and adventurers. But this little goblin guy here, pretty cool. Fallout role-playing game dice. Here's the thing. I don't play the Fallout role-playing game. I love the video game, but my son wanted the really cool Fallout-looking D20. We don't play the role-playing game, so these D6s with Vault Boy and the shotgun symbols really not going to be terribly helpful. But it also had a hit location dice, and I actually like that one better than the one I bought. And the Studio 2 Publishing had a big Savage Worlds section, and I'm a huge Savage Worlds fan. Didn't get any of their books, because I have most of the ones I want already, but they were doing a sale on some of their maps. So they were doing those 4 for $10, so I went ahead and got some of those. Some of the more generic ones I thought I might use in a wide variety of situations. So I got the Cemetery Crypt, Deadlands Noir. Let's see, also have the Office Warehouses and Theater. And we've got the Druid Circle and Village. And then also I got a Last Parsec Pirate and Research Space Station Ship, or Spaceship. Because I do also I hold Star Wars classes, so those could come in handy there. Free issue of Game Trade magazine. Pretty nice. As a freebie, when you bought a certain amount of merchandise, you got a special pin. So my son got it, and he says, "Do you want this?" I said, "Sure." So if you can see that, it says, "What to buy? Minis, dice, games, art." A little spinner there. When you go through the dealer's hall, a lot of people are giving out promos for the various games they are representing. We're big fans of Flux, and so when I went through, we did get a new Flux card for their Zombie Flux, a new rule, Zombie Portal. And I was wearing a Batman shirt the day we went by, so I got a special promo Batman Flux card, which you can use these with any of the Fluxes. Fluxes? Fluxi? Fluxesses? Anyway, you can use it with the game. Batman logo card. And I demoed Shadows of Brimstone, which is a board game that I've been interested in for a long time, and they were running demos and got to play that. We did the Forbidden Fortress Asian-themed one, and after that we did get a promo gear card. So if I ever actually play the game more than that, there we go. Expect to see that baby at the table. Oh, here's my proof of vaccination armband. This year, to attend Gen Con, you had to prove you've been vaccinated, and you had to have a mask. So this was my proof of vaccination armband. And we stayed at the JW Marriott, and they had themed keys. And I didn't abscond with the JW Marriott key. When I checked out, the lovely lady at the desk said, "Would you like to keep the commemorative key as a souvenir?" And I said, "Yeah, okay." So that's why I have that. I think that might be everything I got at Gen Con 2022. It was an outstanding time, had a great time. We always have a wonderful time at Gen Con. I will be doing some more videos about some of the things that I've gotten. I may do a bit of a walk flip through like Kids on Bikes, Monster of the Week. I will definitely be doing an unboxing of the Dragons of Stormwreck Isle new starter set for D&D, and go through a few of those things like that. So yeah, I think that's it. So until next time, see ya!